Maiden voyage!
Woo!
Hey, I'm Michael Brandt with Garage Bound LLC in Chattanooga, Tennessee. This is my friend Lucky Chucky.
And I'm Chuck Vaught, and I was his partner on this build, and we built this awesome 49 Packard.
She loves me, yeah, she loves me, loves my life.
We call it the 49 Packard Rescue Pig because we built this vehicle to where we could do any welding and fabricating and some mechanical repair works while on the trail. So we can get to you if you're in need.
We got Garage Bound LLC. Had to help weld up the clutch pedal on the Lincoln.
Just to walk around, we started out with a 49 Packard chassis. It was a barn find. Someone restored it and it had been sitting. We tried to get rid of it as far as people restoring it. No one really wanted it, so this was a perfect project. Then we picked up a 96 Dodge Ram chassis. We shortened it 9 inches to fit the body, sectioned all the wheel wells, got a big block Chevy out of a motorhome, dually out of a school bus. 37-inch Falcon tires, transfer case out of a 65 Ford, and we did a lot of other features to it as far as air tanks underneath with an air compressor, so we have onboard air. The tanks are made out of oxygen cylinders, and if you want to walk around the back, that's where we have the welding equipment to do all the service on the trailer.
She's my lover.
Did a lot of fabricating here to where we got lockable pins, spring-loaded lockable pins, and this bumper rolls down out of the way. We have a slider table and a hydraulic system so that we can just push our stuff right on out. All right, so we have the Miller Multimatic 220 AC/DC, which is a multi-process machine. AC/DC, TIG welding, MIG welding, stick welding, and the Miller Fusion 160 engine drive power source. It doesn't stop there though. We have also a Miller Spectrum 625 plasma cutter. We have onboard air compressor system. Underneath the car we have 200 CFM bottles, so we have 400 CFM of stored air, and then that's how we run our plasma cutter, as well as being able to fill up people's tires. On this reel right here from Reelcraft, this reel right here pulls out, and this is where we use our shielding gas. So we can easily transfer from our argon to our 7525 and then work at least 50 foot from the car. So that retracts there. Also from Reelcraft, we have a 3-prong plug for our electricity. So again, we can work 50 foot from the car with that. Electricity comes off the engine drive. Up top here we have a hose reel for our torches, and then we also on the other side have a hose reel for our compressed air. So big shout out to Reelcraft Chemicals for providing us with the fuel for our cutting system, Holston gases for the bottles and the gas. We wanted to have 12 volt air compressors, and we ordered two of the highest CFM air compressors that you'd probably typically find in the lowrider bag cars, you know, stuff like that. But those pumps didn't come through in time, so we went to Northern Tool and we bought a small 15-gallon air compressor, a 110, and we just robbed everything right off the top of it. So we mounted the pump inside, so when the engine drive's running, we can plug that pump in, and that pump will fill up our 200 CFM bottles that are stored up underneath the car that actually act as rock sliders too. So we got a lot of flack from people like, oh, that compressed air in those cylinders, but dude, those bottles are quarter wall. They're tucked into the chassis. They're mounted with big, mounting brackets and stuff, and they're probably thicker than anybody else's rock sliders that they typically use that material for. So Over here, we have all of our air compressor fittings, and we are able to dial in how much pressure that we have in the tanks, and it'll show us how much is in the tanks. Also on board, we all have Flame Tech torch that's able to cut as well as heat and bend, so we have Rosebud for that. Kimoline's done a great job providing us with the gas that we need for that. We'd like to thank Blue Demon Welding Products for all of our filler metals and contribution for parts to build this car. We got a 49 Packard Rescue Pig emblem here. Hudlow Axle did all of our gears and our drive shafts. We are very thankful for them. They really went out of their way. Brought my buddy Brian to the shop that works at Hudlow to do most of the work in my shop because we were under such a short deadline. Deck of batteries. We have one Deep Cycle 27 series battery for the hydraulic system. And then we have a 24 series battery for our cranker to crank and start it. Miller Electric. I've been partnered with them for about 3 years. It's been great. They give me a platform to use and share equipment with kids and working with kids in welding. Iron Demon Forge has been a great friend and a loyal contributor to all of our shenanigans over the years. Eastwood, we'd like to thank Eastwood for our tri-flow radiator, fan system, shroud system, all that. Walter Surface Technologies we've been partnered with for a couple years. We have their Mini Plus grinder, Enduroflex turbo flap wheels, and 6-inch cut-off wheels. Falcon Tire, huge hand up from Falcon Tire. They didn't really hesitate at all in giving us the tires that we needed to completely build our dream out, you know. So, Deathwish Show, not the best show. Ha! Just kidding. Deathwish Show. Thanks for the, you know, Josh. I gotta thank Josh because Josh is the one that put the idea in our head and asked if we wanted to participate in this event. And me and Lucky Chucky are like, well, we haven't really ever built a 4-wheel drive. You want to do it? I said it was gonna either be a 55 4-door Caddy, which I had, or this Packard. And Josh says, you're gonna do the Packard, I think, because he wanted to buy the Caddy. So anyway, thanks to Josh for, you know, hey, putting that seed in our head, because now we have a bad toy because we're done with it, and it's a beast. We went riding yesterday, and nothing's gonna stop this thing, and it doesn't even know ruts. Once the front tires might be in, but those back tires kick up, it's gonna chew, man. It's great. So between Lucky Chucky and I, we have, hey Chuck, what we got, about $7 grand a piece into parts and stuff?
Roughly. I had a Packard pocket that had all the pocket, because I haven't been home in almost a month. And so we would just put our money together, and I put it in my right pocket. My right pocket was my Packard pocket. The left pocket was what I had left. And now they're both empty. But I'm thinking between 14 and 15. And that's including the chassis, the body, the engine, which Mike already had the body, and the engine was sort of in hock at the repair shop, the rebuild shop, and we ponied up the rest of the money to get it out. So we bailed the engine out, so to speak, of Roberts and Sons.
We got it bonded out.
And it blows my mind.